Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to talk about why Tesla is probably going to crash after earnings. I did a very good presentation about all the factors that might make it crash, and just to be fair, I also did one that shows what would make the stock go up hugely in price, although I think this is very highly unlikely after the earnings. So as always, if you like this content, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you want to go further, check out our Patreon, which is the first link in the description box below. There you can get exclusive content, direct access to me, and you can support the channel for $5 a month. Let's begin the video. So Tesla earnings might crash the stock, and this is why. We are rallying up to earnings. Tesla has been tearing it up lately. Just today, we are up 7.78%, which is crazy. Since the low point of Tesla, by the way, let me know in the comments who here on this channel has been buying the dip. I really wanted to buy the dip, go all in, but I just don't have liquidity available at this point. I'm really hoping that very soon I will have a very substantial amount of liquidity. And as long as the stock is below my target price, I really want to load the boat with these shares. But since the lowest point, we're up 41% on a multi-$100 billion company. And this is within 2 trading weeks. So when this happens before earnings, basically the expectations are maxed and the earnings call has to be way above expectations for the stock to continue rally and to not fall. So as I said, I wanted to collect up what could crash Tesla stock during the earnings call. And this is the points that we are going to look at. So what is it that can really damage the stock? And again, it's very easy at this point because there has been so much rallying. But if Tesla just removes the line that Tesla expects a 50+% growth on a multi-year horizon, this is a line that has been a staple of their investor report that they do. And if you remember, there's another company that I happen to like super much, Palantir. And when they remove the line that they are planning to grow 30% year on year in the next 5 years, the stock crashed like 20%. So this is something that they might do because Musk has openly said that we're going into a recession. Everybody's expecting a recession if we're not already in one. So it could be that their lawyers might want to take this number out, but we will see. This, again, I wouldn't be surprised if it would happen. Then Musk is going to be on the conference call, and he's always a wild card. You know, we gotta love him for who he is, but he has done some damage to Tesla brand before. I don't need to detail it. He can, do certain stuff that could make the stock price fall, right? Then if Musk is asked about Twitter and he would not commit to coming back to Tesla, meaning he would be super vague and he could maybe say that it's not going easy finding a new CEO for Twitter, and this thing is going to be longer than he thought, and he wants people to be prepared for this. This would send the stock down crumbling. I do think that this is very unlikely, but this is a list of things that would make it do it, so I had to include it here. Then another thing, if they are asked about margins, and they would say that the company will have 0 margins for the next few years. This is possible. We don't know if this is the case, and I guarantee you that this is going to be asked of them on the conference call as soon as the analysts can ask questions if they don't address it themselves before. And depending on the answer, this could be a huge shift in the stock price. But because the expectations are so high already, so even if they say that we are going to have super good margins, that would be neutral for the stock because that is the expectations. And if they just give any indications that margins are a problem, the stock goes. Then the next one, again, this is also something that is going to be asked, and that is demand. So if they give any indication that demand is not where they expected and maybe further price cuts are needed, this would send the stock down crumbling. Now, here's the other side of the coin. What would make Tesla blow up after earnings? And I think that this is very unlikely after a 41% rally in just 2 weeks. So if they confirm that Sandy Munro is right and they have fantastic margin this price, despite the price cuts, this is highly unlikely for very many reasons. One of the reasons is that Tesla has a culture of hiding how well they are doing. And I actually want to do some research because I believe Sandy Munro is not BSing when he says that Tesla has a 40% margin, but this is not shown in the bookkeeping. So I really want to dig into why this is the case. And it's also very unlikely that they would brag about their margins because it draws further attention to them. And this could invite competition, even though competition in the auto industry is very, very tough. Still, I don't think that they want it out there how good their margins are. Then what would send the stock price up if Musk announces that a new Twitter CEO is found and he's coming back to Tesla? I don't believe that the Tesla earnings call is the place to announce this, so therefore I consider this very unlikely. But again, this would send the stock price straight to the skies. If they announce that demand is so robust that they might have to increase the prices again, this is very unlikely, but who knows, it could happen. And I just want to reiterate again that the expectations when you rally 41% into the earnings card is so hard, is so priced to perfection, that anything that they say that could be construed as good, it's already priced in. For example, they could say, we see a very good inflow of orders and we will probably sell all the cars that they make. This is normally very bullish, but after such a rally, this is neutral to the stock. If they say the Cybertruck is going as planned, it's neutral for the stock. If they say, FSD is going fantastic, it's just a neutral for the stock. It's not going to make the stock move, and maybe it's going to even lead to a sell. Buy the rumor, sell the news. They could also announce some new timeline on the Tesla Robotaxi, which would be a very aggressive timeline. They could say, FSD beta is going so good and we're collecting so much data, and based on all of our projections in 2023, we're going to start offering Robotaxi in Texas and some select US cities. I think that this is highly unlikely, and even if it happens, the market would be deaf to this because they have been deaf to anything that they cannot put into an Excel table and analysts cannot grab. So I don't think that this would move the stock price, but this could, and this would be a very bullish thing, right? So here's my predictions for the earnings call. I think that in this earnings call, there will be something for the bulls and the bears. And I think that they will be very neutral in their tone. For example, they will probably say that we expect to sell every vehicle that we make in the foreseeable future. Why this is such a mellow statement is because we know that Musk is even willing to sell cars at a loss. So obviously they're not saying that we're going to sell every car that we make at a very high 30+% gross margin. They are saying that we're just going to sell every car. So that's obviously a slightly bullish thing, but anybody can read whatever they want into it. Then if they would, then my prediction is that they're going to say that they expect margins to contract in the short term. This is what everybody is expecting. But I think that they're going to reconfirm the delivery plans of circa 1.9 million cars this year. And again, this is one of those normally would be a super bullish news, but when the expectations are so high, this would be a completely neutral news to the stock. I think Musk is going to say when he's pressed with a gun by analysts that he will, of course, come back to Tesla when a Twitter CEO is found, with no commitment on a timeline and, obviously not saying how he's doing there. I think that they are going to announce that the Cybertruck is going as planned. And again, this is a neutral news. And I think that they're going to announce that FSD is going well. And maybe they will give a timeline on the Robotaxi. And again, this is all neutral to the stocks, to the stock price. And based on this, I suspect that this rally is not going to continue in the short term. In the very long term, I'm super bullish on Tesla. This is a super important earnings call, so I'm very excited to see it in a couple of days, and I'm of course going to cover it in this channel. Please let me know in the comments what is it that you most want to find out in this earnings call. And thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed. Why not check out the Patreon for some exclusive content? And I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.